Well, to get more on the possible implications of this assassination, Mark Sedra, a senior fellow at the Center for International Governance and Innovation, joins us. Mark, thanks. You've traveled extensively throughout Afghanistan. Who was AWK and what was the environment he worked in?
Well, he was essentially the President Karzai's man on the ground in southern Afghanistan, in Kandahar. This is the spiritual home of the Taliban. It's also the home of President Karzai's family, and Ahmed Wali Karzai was President Karzai's younger half-brother. So he played a critical role. He was at the center of security, political, as well as tribal networks and alliances. He was also the main power broker that worked with NATO and U.S. forces. So he played a critical role in the region and in the politics of the country.
He was also known as a thug, as a godfather, a fixer in many ways, to put it probably in the most benign way that he could be described, however.
Oh yeah, let's be clear. This was not a good guy. He was a drug lord, perhaps one of the biggest drug traffickers in the country. He'd best be described as essentially a feudal chieftain in the area. He was at different times. He was a CIA paid informant. So he played a number of roles, and he was, I think it's a good description to refer to as a mafioso in the region. But nonetheless, he was essentially the government's envoy to southern Afghanistan and Kandahar, and has played a critical role in the counterinsurgency operations and in governing the whole south of the country. The international community didn't like working with him as a result because of his criminal ties, but they learned to do so over time, and that's why this is going to be a significant blow.
Held their nose, as one described, as they watched this man play both sides. There are still more questions than answers in AWK's assassination, but do you think this says, what do you think this says about how effective countries like the United States and Canada have been in our campaign to bring peace and stability to Afghanistan?
Well, it shows that the Taliban's capability of launching significant attacks such as this has not really been blunted. This is happening only weeks after the attack on the Intercontinental Hotel, a really stunning attack in Kabul. The Taliban are showing that they can attack when and where they want. This was a big fish. There are political assassinations that happen in Afghanistan every day, but not at this level. So this is a very significant attack. It's liable to lead to an escalation of violence. So it shows that Afghanistan's still a long way off from any sustainable stability.
Mark Sedra, senior fellow at the Center for International Governance and Innovation, speaking with us from Kitchener, Ontario. Thanks very much for this, Mark.